Hello and welcome back to Handheld Computing. Today we're having a look at battery replacement in the Palm M500 series. Replacing batteries in older devices is an absolute necessity. A lithium-ion battery left in storage for 20 years will likely have stopped working entirely. And with a charge-discharge cycle of 300 to 500 cycles, most lithium-ion batteries will need replacing within 2 to 3 years depending on usage. This is something we're all familiar with our mobile phones. There are of course exceptions to every rule, such as my Casio E115, which still runs fine on its 20-year-old battery. The good news is it's still easy enough to get replacement batteries for the E500 series from eBay or from Amazon. The better news is the E500 series is one of the easier ones to replace the battery in. So let's take a look. So for the battery replacement, you're going to need a torque screwdriver, a plastic pry, a blunt metal pry of some sort, a new battery, of course. These are still readily available on eBay, and optionally, a 2.5mm drill bit. This is not necessary for the actual battery replacement, but is handy while you've got the device in bits. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the stylus, and you might as well leave the case on as it does protect the screen while it's face down. And we're going to remove these 4 torque screws. Once that's done, remove the plastic protector card, as this is a good place to start with the pry tool. Pop it in on the edge and you're moving along trying to remove all the plastic clips that hold it together. There we are. And the same on the other side. Once that's done, we can easily remove the back. So from here, the battery replacement is quite straightforward. Simply unplug this clip. The battery in this is stuck down with double-sided tape. The best way of removing it is actually to remove the circuit board overlaying it and then put things back together. Carefully remove the flex cable here, but be careful not to overflex it as it does damage. And that's the controller for the screen. Tip the whole thing on its back and you can now push it out in its entirety. There we are. Before trying to remove the battery, a few words of caution. Even though the battery seems completely dead, it may still contain a significant amount of energy, and as such poses a significant risk of fire should the battery be punctured, bent or damaged in any way. For this reason, I would strongly recommend some safety glasses, some gloves and a metal bucket filled with sand should the battery set on fire. To be clear, I accept absolutely no responsibility for damage to yourself, your house, your palm top or anything else associated with this. You do it solely at your own risk. So now, using the metal pry under the battery, but being careful not to distort the battery or scratch the protective coating on the back of the LCD. Just gently push it under, lifting the battery from the double-sided tape. Do not rush this step. Now you've removed the battery, make sure you dispose of the battery properly. As you can see, this particular type of battery has the BMS attached to the battery itself. So let's pop it back together. Just make sure that the motor is still at the top, because if you flipped it out, that's where it belongs, and without that the vibrate function obviously won't work. In first go the buttons. The LCD goes on top. And be careful not to flex this cable too much as you slide the main board back in. Reconnect the cable. So take your new battery, plug it in. That's it, bit fiddly. And then you can use some double-sided tape to secure it. I'm not actually going to bother because it's quite secure without. Make sure the wires are flat, and then you can replace the back plate. But before we do, we're going to use this 2mm drill bit in order to widen the reset hole. This is purely and simply so you don't have to keep releasing the pin from the back of the stylus, which makes it much more convenient when you do need to reset the device. So I'm just going to flip this protective piece of plastic out of the way, as it does help prevent dust getting into the device. I'm going to drill onto a block of wood, of course, so I don't ruin my table. The tip of the stylus now fits into the hole, and therefore you can reset the device without having to take the back off and find a pin. Let's pop it back together. So just make sure everything's aligned underneath, and then it simply snaps back on. The screws that come with the device are pretty shoddy, so you soon round out the heads if you're not careful. On the device I use, I only put one screw back in, and that's this one, because it helps keep the body together here where there aren't many plastic clips. But you're welcome to put all four back in. And we're good to go. Of course, you want to do a couple of charge-discharge cycles in order to condition the battery and get the most out of it, so I would recommend popping this on charge for about 12 hours. Use it then until it tells you the battery is completely dead, and repeat the process a couple of times. One last tip: if you have lost your original stylus, they can easily be replaced with one for the Nintendo DS. You'll get these 2 or 3 for £1, so they're quite cheap. You just need to file down this top end, as it's a little bit too tight to fit right down the silo, and they'll damage the plastics. That said, they make a great replacement and they're very cheap. I hope you found this video useful. As time goes on, it's more and more likely that direct replacements will stop being available. Should this happen, you could order a pouch battery of the correct size and use the existing BMS. This will work fine as long as the pouch fits and is of the correct chemistry. You might even be able to get a higher capacity battery for your device, but since doing this would require ordering the correct size and doing a bit of soldering, it's much easier to order a direct replacement. If you've enjoyed this video, a like and a subscribe would be excellent. My name's Hugh. This is Handheld Computing. Thanks for watching.